If there's one thing I know for sure, it's that Dario Amodei, the CEO of Anthropic, had a pretty rough week. Last Friday, he wrote a 1,600-word memo to his 2,000 employees. The worst day of his company's existence. Pentagon had just blacklisted them. OpenAI had swooped in and been Mr. Steal Your contract within an hour. Amodei evidently lost it. He called OpenAI's Pentagon deal straight up lies and 80% safety theater. Also said that Sam Altman was gaslighting. He called OpenAI employees a gullible bunch due to selection effects. I'm seeing it like the Regina George meme where she's writing in the burn book. He said Altman's spin was working on some Twitter morons. Also explained why the Trump administration hates Anthropic, which is that they haven't donated, while OpenAI and their president, Greg Brockman, have donated a lot. He said they haven't heaped dictator-style praise on Trump while Sam has. And then it leaked. Obviously. I don't know how many drinks in he was to forget that that always happens. Someone leaked it to the information. The White House then responded by saying that they can't trust Claude in classified settings because Amodei might be secretly carrying out his agenda. The Pentagon made the supply chain designation official, which is the first time that has ever been applied to an American company. Between PR legal and his therapist, I don't know, somebody should have stopped this. Thursday, Amodei published an apology. He said the memo didn't reflect his, quote, careful or considered views. He said Anthropic wants to work with the Pentagon, that they would keep supplying models at a nominal cost. And he was publicly rejected, which is pretty humiliating. After all this conversation about values, he dropped them and got gut punched. An hour later, Undersecretary of War Emil Michael posted on X, "I want to end all speculations that we're not actively negotiating with Anthropic." The apology evidently failed. The Trump administration is not one to take a public beating lightly. That's just kind of not the way of the collective ego. Now here's where Amodei is trapped. So the consumers are loving this. Claude went to #1 on the App Store. ChatGPT uninstalls spiked almost 300%. Revenue doubled for Anthropic, $20 billion in just 10 weeks. The public picked a side. But investors are not so keen on this. Apparently, Amazon CEO met with Pete Hegseth and would not take Anthropic's side, which is rather smart, knowing what we do, I suppose. One investor told Reuters it's an ego and diplomacy problem. They're quietly trying to de-escalate without him. The people who came to Anthropic, employees, users, came because Amodei held the line on safety. If he capitulates now, he loses them, but if he doesn't, his own backers might cut him loose. So the memo unfortunately made it personal. This is why you shouldn't engage in catastrophic news on a Friday night. Close slack, Dario. But personal fights are the hardest to win, especially when you're fighting on two fronts. So a big shout out to Dario's therapist this week. Godspeed.